Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Kajin. In today's video, we're going to be ranking Arrancar weapons. Since you guys seem to like really enjoy my previous video where I ranked Soiper weapons, Soiper Shikai weapons to be specific, that video is on like 30k plus views. You guys clearly like these kind of videos, so I decided I'll do another one but for the Arrancars. There are around 8 different Arrancar weapons total, so I'm going to be ranking all of them with starting from D tier all the way up to S tier. D tier being the worst, obviously S tier being the strongest and the best weapon you should try to get. But before we get to this video, man, I'd like to say we are approaching 3k slowly but steadily, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys hit that sub button. I'm trying to get 3k, it'd be much appreciated. Join my Discord server and drop a like in the video. I said if I got 50 likes on that other video, I'll do another part. You guys smashed that. The video's at well over 200 likes right now. So I decided I'll do another part, which is this video you're seeing today. So if you guys want to see a third tier list video, get this video 100 likes and I'll do that. And if you guys would like me to rank your builds, I've been doing this kind of like a little mini series thing on my channel where I've been ranking people's builds in the comments. If you guys would like me to rank your build out of 10, just drop the build in the comments, like for an example, flame longsword, and then drop it in the comments and I'll rate it out of 10. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. Alright, so starting with the D tier, there are currently only 2 different D tier weapons in the entire game for Arrancars. First, we're going to be starting with the Haribo's dagger. There are many reasons why I put this at D tier. One of the main reasons is the fact that it has, in my opinion, a very bad critical attack. The critical attack, if you didn't know, is like a short range front flip, and that's pretty much it. It block breaks obviously because it's a critical attack, but like it has no range and it has no other like spec to it, if that makes sense. There's some weapons in this list that slow opponents down, break their bones, has long range, whereas the Haribo's dagger just doesn't have any of those 3 attributes. So in my opinion, it's just mid. If you have this dagger, it might be good with certain builds, I guess, but overall, if you have this dagger, in my opinion, you should just reroll it because it's kind of bad. Not to mention, in my opinion, it's one of the most ugly looking weapons for Arrancars because, as you guys know, Arrancars are quite drippy, but this weapon is not drippy at all. This weapon is quite ugly. So yeah, if you get this weapon, I would consider rerolling it if I was you. Alright, so for the second D tier weapon and the only other D tier weapon in this entire video, we got the regular katana. The reason why I ranked the regular katana as a D tier is mainly due to the fact that it has nothing special to it as well. The critical attack is just a short range dash. In my opinion, it's better than the Haribo's dagger, the critical. However, it's still just a mediocre weapon. It doesn't look cool. It's just a regular katana. You wouldn't even know. You know what I'm trying to say? Everybody has this katana. There's nothing really much else to say about it apart from the fact that the critical was decent before, but they nerfed it now and they made it have a longer cooldown to use. So even at that, it's not that good anymore. It's pretty slow as well. Similarly, all the D tier weapons have one similarity, which is the fact that all of the critical attacks are quite slow. If you're fighting an experienced player or a really good player like a CC player or something, your critical attacks are going to be very slow and easy to parry. So I feel like, you know, these weapons are kind of bad because of that. It's just, the weapons are just not good in general. If you have any of these D tier weapons, you gotta reroll that shit, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so moving on to C tier, there's only one C tier weapon in this entire list, and that weapon is the Neliel's Lance. Believe it or not, I actually really like this weapon. However, there's a couple of flaws to it, which is why I put it as C tier. You could argue that it is B tier or low B tier, but since there's no low B tier ranking, I decided to put that as C tier. The critical attack is like a medium range projectile where it shoots out some kind of like beam of Ryatsu or something and it hits your opponent. The only downside to this, which doesn't make this B tier or even higher, is the fact that it can only hit one person. If you guys remember the Quincy bow back in the day on release, when everybody was complaining about the Quincy's bow critical being so overpowered, basically the Neliel's Lance is the nerfed version of that. It shoots out a projectile similar to the Quincy's bow's M2, however it only hits one person, which is the major flaw to it. If it could hit multiple people, it would be very OP. However, I still see a lot of people rocking this weapon, especially keto builds, because it's a ranged M2. Who, you know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't want a ranged M2? So yeah, in my opinion, there's not really much else to say about this weapon. I'll say this weapon is a solid C tier or a low B tier. I'll let you guys decide that one in the comments. If you're still watching the video at this point, make sure you guys hit that sub button, man. I'm trying to hit 3k. Enough of the shameless plug, you know what I'm saying? Just subscribe and like the video. Alright, so moving on to B tier. Again, we got one weapon. This weapon is the Bargain's Axe. I decided to put this weapon at a B tier for countless reasons. One of the reasons is that the weapon does an insane amount of damage. It is a great sword. It's an axe, sorry. It does a lot of damage. Secondly, the critical attack, if you land the entire thing, it melts your HP, but that critical attack is overpowered. Textbook wise, this weapon would be an S tier. However, it does have some flaws to it as well. One of the major flaws to this weapon is the fact that the critical attack is very slow. I'm talking, you could see somebody wind up the critical and you would have enough time to block and dash backwards before that critical starts hitting you, bro. The critical attack is just way too slow for it to be practical, I feel like. However, it would be wrong to put it anything lower than B tier, because if it lands, the amount of damage you could do with that one critical attack is really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, it has hyper armor during it as well. If you didn't know, while you're doing the animation, you have hyper armor, so you can literally just run into someone's attack and hit them with that and do a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think this is a very valid B tier weapon. I already explained why I think it's a B tier weapon. I don't think it would be A tier. The only way I'd say it could be A tier is if they, you know, made it so that the windup is shorter. And yeah, besides that, yeah, I think it's a solid B tier weapon. The only B tier weapon on this list too. And now we are on to A tier. For the only A tier weapon in this entire list is the Wonder Weese's sword. For those that didn't know, the Wonder Weese's critical attack is actually very special. Pretty much what it does is, if you guys know on the Kendo skill tree, if you guys hit somebody with vertical down and split gate, it does that little like cool combo attack. That's pretty much what the Wonder Weese's critical attack is. It's that combo that you do when you hit them with both skills with Kendo, sorry. However, it is a weakened version, obviously. However, it does do true percent damage, meaning that it goes through block and armor and stuff. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong on that, don't quote me on that. Decided to put this weapon at A tier because just from the critical alone, this weapon is very, very overpowered. However, it can go any higher or lower due to the fact that it's pretty mediocre, in the sense that its M1s are nothing special. It's a normal medium sword, and the critical is very, very like short range. It's not easy to land in a real public match. So besides that, it is still a very strong weapon. It would be disrespectful to put it anything below. Alright, so last but not least, we got S tier. This is the most populated rank, as it has 3 different weapons inside of it. The first weapon I'm going to be talking about is the Ukiyora's Katana. The reason why I put the Ukiyora's Katana at a S tier is mainly because of the critical attack. The critical attack, not only does it look very cool, for some reason the hitbox is so fat. Like, I'm using it, the hitbox, like you guys would have seen a clip on it on screen already, I'm pretty sure. Like, the attack critical is so big for some reason. The hitbox is so big. Like, you guys see that black dust? For around that black dust, you're still able to hit your opponents. So like, the critical range is very big, you know what I'm saying? So because of that alone, it makes the katana very good, especially in close quarter fights, because you can just pop it and just instantly blood break your opponent, you know what I mean? So in my opinion, it's an easy S tier. I don't really have much else to say apart from the fact that it's just, in my opinion, the best katana in the entire game. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just fluid, everything. I never really see anything go wrong with it. I always win my fights using this weapon, and it is my go-to. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the next one. The next weapon is the Grimjaw Claws. For all you fatherless Hakuda users, this weapon is very overpowered. If you didn't know, the critical attack literally up tilts you, and in this game with Hakuda, if you're in the air, you're losing all your HP. If you're in the air against a Hakuda user, you're losing all your HP. And the Grimjaw Claws puts you in the air for free just for landing a critical, which is so overpowered. I don't know which dev or which moderator, whoever, I don't know who thought this was going to be okay to put this in the game, but whoever did was clearly on to something, because bro, this is very overpowered. In my opinion, it's the strongest weapon in the game for Arrancars. It's the strongest weapon in the game for any Hakuda user, which is why Arrancar Hakuda is like one of the strongest builds in the entire game. There's not much else I have to say about this. It's pretty easy to get, obviously, and it's very OP. Not much else I have to really say. The critical just up tilts and it's very strong. Last but not least, we got Nitrous Scythe. In my opinion, this is on par with the Ukiyora's Katana. If you guys want a more in-depth guide as to why I say it's the strongest weapon in the game, go watch my video I dropped on it. I dropped a very detailed video where I was explaining why this is the strongest weapon for Arrancars. The main reason, to summarize that video, if you don't want to go watch it, which you should, to summarize, pretty much the critical attack slows your opponent and breaks their bones. You heard that right. It slows their opponent and breaks their bones. Not to mention, the 5th M1 also stuns your opponent if you hit them with it. It's a little like smackdown thing, and it stuns your opponent. It's very, very OP. When your opponent's bones are broken, they can't move, they can't run, they can't really do anything. But they can run, but you know, they'll be very slow, so it's easy to catch them. So you'll be able to land big combos in them and everything, which is, there's no reason not to put this weapon at S tier. Not to mention, it looks very drippy as well. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. As you guys know, I asked for 50 likes on my previous tier list video, and you guys smashed that, which is why we're here with a part 2. If you guys would like another part 3, another tier list, 100 likes, and I got you guys. But if you guys watched all the way to this point and you haven't subscribed, I'll give you a minute to subscribe. Yes, I'm still waiting, so you better subscribe. But yeah, in all seriousness, thank you guys for watching this entire video. Without further ado, man, let's get straight into the outro.
遅れですよ近々なんか見えない絆なんて